Sai'vion, you had a heck of a game, 2 sacks. What's it like working with either Bo Davis, Kevin Peoples, all the guys you brought in as far as the D-line coaches? How have they really helped you?
I felt like they really opened my eyes to like the pass rush world. Of course I knew the simple things about being able to pass rush, but they break it down into a more complex way to where it's easy to understand.
How do you feel like PJ Woodland, Ashton Stamps, how do you feel like those guys did in the game against USC, and what do you think they need to improve on going forward to prepare for Nichols?
I feel like they did a phenomenal job. Even though they didn't throw the flag a couple times when they were supposed to, I felt like they didn't complain much. They kept their head down and just was able to finish through the ball.
As a whole, how much do you think the defense improved as opposed to what we saw last year?
I felt like the defense improved a lot. I feel like one of the main ways we improved was because of the trust that we have in each other. I trust that the backfield is going to be able to do their job, and they trust that we're going to be able to do our job.
Coach Kelly said it was a little frustrating that there was a ball on the ground a few times, right? Just couldn't quite get it in terms of getting some turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to turnover, it's only one thing that you need. You got to be able to hustle to the ball, and I felt like we didn't have that full sense of urgency to get to the ball. Now, I mean, we came close a couple times, but I mean, close and getting it ain't the same thing. So.
You grew up not far from Nichols, right? I mean.
Yeah, like 50 minutes.
Okay. You know any of those guys on the team or that played in the River Parishes or whatnot?
Yeah, I know one of them. I want to say his number 66, Samaj. He went to my rivalry school, Lutcher High School, so it would be nice to be able to play against him again.
What'd you make of the play of your defensive tackles? Because, that was kind of a spot that everyone was watching, whether it was fall camp, because we had a bunch of veteran guys like you on the edge. What'd you make of the defensive guys, like, in the middle?
Oh, I think they did great. Being able to play onside them is a good thing. And whenever I'm watching them, like if I'm in film watching them, people say this, people say that, but when I'm watching them, what I see is, some football players that, want to be great.
You talked a little bit about the trust between you and the other guys. How much trust do you guys have in Blake Baker and what he's doing with the defense?
Well, I feel like I speak for the whole defense when I say this. I feel like everybody got their trust in Coach Baker, and I feel like that trust comes because he able to connect with us. It's not all business with him. He knows when to clown with us. He knows when not to clown with us. So I feel like as a unit, we got a lot of trust in him.
What are your thoughts of playing a home game, getting back in Tiger Stadium?
Well, it's going to be excited to be able to finally play a home game again, especially since it's the 100-year anniversary. The whole stadium got renovated, and it's a local college that's not that far away from us, so of course it's going to be packed out, so I'm excited to play in it again.
You looking forward to seeing your picture on that Jumbotron, that big video?
Yeah, especially since my last year, so.
Sai'vion, even though you guys were not victorious on Sunday, anybody that watched could tell that the defense kind of made a 180 from last year. What's kind of the vibe in that defensive room heading into this Week 2 matchup?
It was definitely a sad moment when we lost, but we don't mourn our losses for that long because we know that it's just as much bad things that happen out there is just as much good thing. I feel like we had a lot of effort and enthusiasm going out there. And, we just need to work on finishing and our discipline.
Mason Taylor said the morale of the team was still good after the loss. How would you just describe how you guys are feeling moving forward?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely good. Like I said, it was definitely a sad moment. We all felt like we should have won that game. We definitely had the talent and the physicalness to beat them, but we all know what we need to do next, so we keep our head down and, we just move on to the next game.
For you, what's the key to stack games, like have another game like you just had?
Say that again?
What's the key for you to stack games, like have a game against Nichols like you just had against, USC?
Well, I feel like the key for me is just to, not get a big head. Just as people can have a bad game, one bad game, and the rest of the season be good, somebody can have a good game and the rest of the season be bad. And I feel like I understand that. So I just need to continue working on the little things and try to be consistent.